Hello, welcome to Sky Bitesize with me, Dan Cox. Once again, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Whilst you are here, if you could give us a like on YouTube and subscribe if you haven't, again, all brilliant. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Music, if you could give us a review on there, again, brilliant. So, Gameweek 24, last weekend before the overhaul, so be a pretty quick video because for me, not too much to discuss really this last weekend. Next week I'll do something longer, probably be a bit longer. We'll look at the overhaul, fixtures, players, anything you think of, we'll cover next week. And if you want to I'll put out a tweet on Monday or Tuesday or something like that. So if you want to get a question in, we'll do that next week. But this one, we'll just have a quick look at the fixtures for this weekend, ownership, transfers in and out, bite-sized league table, and that's about it. Really, a few questions, but I say it's not for me. It's it's not a lot doing really. It's just a case of getting to the overhaul, and then that's when we need to get to work. So I'll get the fixtures up, have a quick look. So tomorrow night, Friday night, Watford versus Norwich. Dennis is pretty well owned, so I've got him. He'll be my captain. If you don't have anyone for Watford, if you're going to bring someone in, you're really hoping for a goal or shot bonus, or 2 goals might be a bit of a stretch, but if you're going to make that move, you're going to want goal, 5 points starting, 2 points to 7, 14 points at least, for a transfer I'd want. So if you're bringing in Dennis, you really need him to get a goal, and a shots bonus or something, to make it worthwhile. So that's where I'm at Friday. I've got someone, so I'm okay. If I didn't have anyone, I don't know if I'd bring someone in. He is well owned, so it is a bit of a dilemma. Obviously, I don't have to make it, so it's easy for me to say I wouldn't bring someone in, but because I'm covered already. So anyway, Friday, Dennis for me, Watford v Norwich. Saturday, Everton versus Villa, Manchester United against West Ham, Leeds against Newcastle, Brentford against Wolves, and then Southampton against Man City. Cancelo, obviously, with his ownership, will be popular. Ronaldo went off after about 70 minutes midweek, has had a bit of a muscle injury or something like that. He wasn't happy at being going off, so I don't know. You obviously don't get to see if he starts. It's the only worry there. But, he is, I think he's still about, well, we'll look at the ownership in a bit, but he was at like 90% ownership before the game in midweek, so I think he'd still be pretty high, but we'll come to that in a minute. Rafinha, if you still got him, Leeds against Newcastle. Could go for someone like Bowen or Antonio, although if you've had Antonio and captained him the last few games, that's not really done you well. But, I think Cancelo or Ronaldo are going to be the top picks for Saturday. Sunday, Leicester versus Brighton, Palace against Liverpool, Arsenal against Burnley, and then Chelsea versus Spurs. Liverpool defender, Trent Alexander, Van Dijk, Jota, if you got Jota, he's been brought into a fair few teams, so he could be a good pick. He scored a couple tonight in the Carabao Cup. Chelsea Spurs, if you got Kane, Chelsea defender, although Chelsea defenders, I've got Rudiger. I knew they weren't going to keep a clean sheet the other night, but at least he did get some pass and bonus. But I think Trent will probably be the most selected captain on Sunday. If you've got a Maddison or Tielemans, I think they're good options. I think, again, not too much for Sunday for me. So that's the 3 days this weekend, and after these games is the overhaul. So do wait until that comes up on the app, like the banner will say like overhaul, now active. It should be a yellow banner, something like that. So don't start messing about with your team until that comes up, because you don't want to be having a play and hit confirm and it's taken 5 transfers off your list. So wait till that comes up. Just have a quick look at the transfers over the last week so Jota, as I mentioned, into 13,000 teams, so he's been probably a direct replacement for Salah for most. Be hoping he can get a goal or 2 against Palace on Sunday. Bowen, been very popular, just been on a great run of form, into 9,000 teams. Harry Kane into 5,000 teams. I had him for all them weeks of the 2-pointers. Since I got rid of Ronaldo's stopped scoring, and Kane's been getting sort of all right sort of points each week, so that's typical in it. So Kane again, if you'd have captained him against Leicester, he'd have done well. I think it was 32 points or something like that. So goal, man of the match, tier 2 shots bonus and assist. So if you had him Wednesday night, you'd have done well. Antonio into 5,000 teams, bit of a disappointment so far. Really, I got him in one of my teams, so hoping to get a goal or something against Manchester United to make that not a total failure. And Lukaku into 4,000 teams, just I think he's been really poor. Really, I had him at the start of the season and couldn't wait to get rid of him. So he has been disappointing. Trent into another 3,600. Again, I think he's going to be a popular captain Sunday. Coutinho, everyone's gone a bit mad there. 3,600 transfers in. I think it's fine to consider him for the overhaul, but I don't think I'd have brought him in straight away. I know he did get a goal, and he started off great, but I'd like to see him first, and maybe one for the overhaul, and then Dennis into 3,600. So if he can get a goal or something Friday night, he'll do well. I won't go through them all. If you're watching on YouTube, you can pause this or head to FF Stuff and check them out yourself. Let's have a look at the quick transfers out. So Salah at 21,000 teams. No surprises away, isn't he? So I think you had to make a move, really. You could get a couple of games out of someone else. Son at 10,000 teams. Mendy at 9,000 teams. Chelsea goalkeeper Reece James at 7,800. Has been out a while now, so that's maybe a bit slow taking him out. And Smith Rowe at 6,600. Again, you can pause this and look through the rest yourself, really. Don't want to go through all 20. Have a quick check of the ownership. Cancelo, 97%. Like I said, so he'll be a popular captain. Ronaldo, 88%. So, yeah, still very highly owned. Bowen, gone up to, 79% owned. Rudiger, 78%. Thought I might have gone up a few places the other night. Because they say when the Watford game was called off, might have left a few people without a captain, with only Chelsea or Brighton. But had Rudiger, they obviously didn't get a clean sheet, but didn't go up too many places. But, there was a good sort of 200 teams in the top 1,000 without him. Conor Gallagher, 73% owned. And Trent, 57% owned. So, if you don't have Trent, he's in quite a lot of teams Sunday if they keep a clean sheet and he could get an assist, or, he's been doing good points. So that is a bit of a concern if you haven't got him or any Liverpool defenders or coverage, for Sunday. De Gea, 47% owned. Ruben Dias, 47% owned. Dennis, 46% owned. So again, if you're not going for him tomorrow night and he does score, he is pretty well owned. So that is a bit of concern for you. Rafinha, 41% owned. Said he could be a good option on Saturday. And Antonio, 38% owned. These are the average remaining transfers. So this is from last Friday. Sky have said they're going to tweet them out every Friday at 12 noon. So if you're watching this Friday, head over there on their Twitter just after lunchtime and see what it is this week. But last week's, so it's the same as what I showed up last week. Top 10 is 13.8. Top 100 is 16.6. Top 1,000 is 17.9. And the top 5,000 is 16.2. So keep an eye on that tomorrow. I presume they're all gone down at least one each. So, if you're above that, you're doing well. Right, let's get on to some questions. Right, Darren Slater. Do you always pick the most voted for captain on your polls? I put the polls on FF Stuff and on Twitter. So do I always pick the most voted for captain if I have them? He saw the poll last night and he switched from Kane to Ronaldo to try and hold rank instead of going for his gut feeling. No, I'll make my decision what I'm doing. I'll obviously check that and then just to see what it is, sort of thing. But no, I don't do it just because everyone else is. What did I do Sunday? I went for Van Dijk on Sunday over Bowen. Only made me a point because Bowen scored again. But I'm not afraid to go against the crowd. I think it is obviously most people go for that pick for a reason, and it does do well. But I think if you pick the same as the crowd, you're going to stay with the crowd. So you do have to be bold sometimes and make a sort of a different move now and then. Hacking, with Burnley having so many games in hand, could it be worth going for a player in the overhaul? We'll cover that next week. But yeah, Burnley are going to have 5 games in hand on a lot of teams. Well, they've got 5 games to go in extra, so yeah, but Burnley are pretty dreadful, so but we'll cover that next week. Darren, where are we? FPL as a. Would you make Watford transfer or just skip at this stage? Worth protecting rank with Dennis or saving a transfer? I've got Dennis, so I'm covered. If I didn't, it's easy for me to say I'll just skip it. But then I do see the worry that if he does get a goal or two, or he gets a 20-pointer, you're behind 50% of the top 1,000. So I can see it as a bring him in to protect your rank. To say it depends on your position and where you are, sort of thing. Because even if you think I'm going to skip it, save the transfer, and I might miss out on 20 points, but I think I can get 30 points after the overhaul. Or if your transfers are running low a bit, you might, if you just want to save a transfer, you're basically, if you're going to bring him in, you want him to be getting a goal, shots bonus, something like that. So it depends whether you think you can do that again. Again, you've got to be brave and think, I'm going to skip this one and, not burn a transfer if you don't feel he's going to do anything. Obviously, I'm hoping he's going to get a couple of goals because I got him. So, Phil Speck, not gone well with the COVID postponements for him. Saying about Dave Bowen. So it's now 168 points to the top 100 for him. Do I give up for the season? Attack? Go for some differentials? Might as well try. He's got 21 transfers left. Well, 21 transfers left is a really good amount. So you could keep playing sensibly, and the transfers you got in hand should see you up the leaderboard as other people are running out of them that were above. So no, I don't think so just yet. I think I'll just sort of keep going. We're only halfway through the season, aren't we? Really? So no, I think I'll just carry on with the sensible picks really, and how you have been. Rich, he's saying, what do I think about a Burnley player because they have so many games in hand? Yeah, I think so, but we'll cover that in more detail next week. FPL commanders, I've still got Salah in my second team. And not doing well at all. Just wondering if getting him out for a Watford forward is worth it at this stage. So there's a captain option on Friday. If you've still got Salah now, I'd be tempted just to keep him for a game. I say if you're going to bring someone in, you want them to be getting 15, 20 points really to make that worthwhile. So if you've still got Salah, I would just consider holding him now. But again, depends if you think Dennis is going to get you a good 15 or 20 points. But I think I'd be tempted to keep him now and hope it's a low score on one Friday night. FPL Hercules, is Bruno Fernandes becoming an option? Well, yeah, if you'd have had him this last week, you'd have done really well. I've had Ronaldo and nothing, and yeah, he's been all right. So yeah, maybe he might be one for the overhaul, but again, we'll cover that next week. Colombo, which is the better transfer option? A Watford player v Norwich will get a Liverpool defender such as Trent on the last day before the overhaul. Dennis and Trent will both be very highly owned. Yeah, whichever one you think is going to cause you more damage. If you haven't got anyone for Sunday, I think, looking at fixtures, if you ain't got anyone and you want to have Trent, then yeah, I think that is a safer move. Obviously, Dennis is in, like we said, 50%. Again, I'd probably rather just cover Trent off and miss the Watford v Norwich game. What Dennis might not even start tomorrow night, so it might not even be that hard a decision to make. I think that was about it for the questions this week. Say there weren't a lot because overhaul, we're sort of just sitting on our hands now waiting for that. So that was it for the questions. Just go over the bite-sized mini league. So Will Bonner's still top. He's still top in the whole game as well. So 20.65 points. Perry Hart second, 20.53. Daniel O'Sullivan's third, 20.41. Liam Stevens, 20.37. And then Maurice Weeks, 20.20. So the top 5 there, they're all in the top 10 overall. So they're all doing brilliant. Honestly think one of these guys, hopefully someone who's in the league, watches, is going to win the big one, the 50k. So good luck to everyone there. You've got a crucial time coming up with overhaul. That's really it for this week. Again, next week we'll do an overhaul special. It's just getting through this weekend really, and don't do anything daft. I would say, don't. You ain't got to take players out your team for the sake of, just wait. Them transfers will be worth it more after the overhaul. Once we get, and we've got to wait for these fixtures coming next week. I'm hoping next Wednesday I've seen mooted about the 24th or so. We should be getting the next sort of TV fixtures, and we'll know about postponed games going in, and all stuff like that. Really, you got the Carabao Cup coming up, so we'll have a bit more stuff like that to look at, and that'll help shaping your team, because I haven't really started. Obviously, we've got the players who we think we're going to have in our team. Cancelo, Salah. All these ones. Are you going to Salah will be back, and players like that. But until you get these single game days, I don't think there's much point. If Villa get a couple of days, then you're thinking, well, yeah, we'll have Coutinho, but you might not now. So just have a short list, but I wouldn't really concentrate too much on making a team. Let's get the fixtures, some more information. We've got plenty of time, so chill out. Maybe take a little rest, and once we get more details, we'll get cracking with the overhaul team. Again, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. If you could give us a like, subscribe, give us a rating on there, Spotify and Apple, greatly appreciate it as well. Hope you have a good weekend, and that's about it. I'll catch you next week.